Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. It's Beat the Bookie and making my second appearance. The national nightmare is over. I'm Jacob Morris. Listen, the last time I was on this show, we went positive, one of just two hosts to do so from August to December, I might add. And boy, do we have a treat today. Eagles-Chiefs, the big game. I've got all types of picks. Plus, how about this? We'll be joined by a few special guests all the way out in Arizona. But before all that, let's take a look at how Johnny Gadamowicz fared last week. I've got one word for you: mid. Johnny G lost $1.55, but hey, he's still got a North Carolina to the Final Four future for some reason, so there's that. Unimpressive as a whole for Mr. Gadamowicz, though. Breaking down the standings as a whole, more of the same. Individuals not named John Dales and Jacob Morris losing money on this show. Cam, also with a poor performance in Week 1. It's time to turn it all around. No more waiting around. Let's hop into it. Eagles, Chiefs, let's talk spread. Philly is a 1.5-point favorite, and we're just going to rip the Band-Aid off. I love KC. $10, not plus 1.5, but on Chiefs money line. I understand how balanced the Eagles have been. I also understand Kansas City is the best coach and the best quarterback in this matchup. Plus, Philly has played one of the softest schedules in the entire NFL this season and lucked into the Giants and then Josh Johnson and Christian McCaffrey at QB against the Niners. So far in the playoffs, it hasn't been great. Get used to it. This is the theme of the show. We're riding and dying with the Kansas City Chiefs. We moved to the over-under. I'm a little less confident on this one, but still, give me $50 on over 50.5 points. If KC is going to take care of business, Mahomes and company, they need to cook. And the Eagles, they have the capability to keep up. Philly's defense is legit, but I conservatively like the over to cash. I'm not the only one picking these two. Let's head to the C-suite. The two BTB producers, Ethan Frank and Jordan Leonard, smart men, riding with KC and the over. Hosts have an early 2-pick lead after an 0-3 performance last week. But important to note, producers did take care of business last semester. But the producers, me, not the only ones making picks today. How about it? BTB going national. Let's head all the way out to Glendale and get some picks from the Newhouse crew covering the Super Bowl. Ryan Nelson, take it away.
Welcome to BTB at the Super Bowl. Beat the Bookie here, and was that a little behind the back, guys?
Hey, it's lax season, right?
It may be lax season, but we're talking NFL Super Bowl prop bets here, right in front of the FanDuel section here at Media Row in Phoenix, Arizona. We'll come to you first, John. What's your biggest prop bet for the Super Bowl?
I'm going to be first because this is the best bet. I don't know what these guys will be talking about. This is the one. Frank Clark getting a sack. This guy's a sack machine. He had the game-clinching sack the last time Kansas City won the Super Bowl a couple of years back. He already has about 2.5 this year in the postseason. So when it comes to postseason play, Frank Clark is a sack machine. He's going to get another one in the Super Bowl. Last I checked, it was plus 124 odds. It'll probably still be in the plus category, so that's one you're going to want to take if you want to make some money.
Not much value at plus 125, but not too bad. How about Nick?
I know you're a big Frank Clark guy, so I love to hear that. Jerick McKinnon's first touchdown will be a receiving touchdown at plus 360. This is a guy that ended the regular season 6 straight games with at least 1 receiving touchdown. He hasn't seen the end zone yet in the playoffs, and I think this is the game he does in the passing game. Both him and Isaiah Pacheco are a dangerous backfield, and for McKinnon, a guy that loves to catch the ball in the backfield with a guy like Mahomes, expect him to find the end zone, catching it and not running it.
A lot bolder of a take from Nick, and I like it. I like not only just a touchdown, but a receiving touchdown at that.
Go big or go home.
Cam, are you going to go big?
I am going big. Better odds, plus 290 for MVS. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. It comes over from Green Bay, and these are great odds. $5, you put it on, you'll more than double your money, and it's a player on the Chiefs. So for the last 2 games in the postseason, a touchdown in each of them. The 17-game regular season, only 2 touchdowns, so he's hot in the playoffs. Nick, you said that Jerick McKinnon is not hot in the playoffs. I'm going to take the guy that is MVS, put $5 on that.
I like $5 on MVS, not a bad one. Johnny, you're last. Is it the best?
Well, you know what? Cam wants to talk about doubling your money, which would be cute. But how about something that's 34-1 odds right now? That's Hassan Reddick, Super Bowl MVP. Look, I look at this game and I see a Philadelphia win in a game where Jalen Hurts doesn't play that well. We haven't really seen him under the bright spotlight yet, making the big plays. So what does that mean? It means the MVP goes to someone else on Philly, and Reddick is someone who has caught fire at the right time, wreaking havoc on opposing offensive lines all postseason. I think that continues. Maybe a strip sack, a fumble recovery, what have you. Give me Hassan Reddick MVP. Book it.
Hassan Reddick MVP?
Wow. There's a reason why it is 34-1 odds.
Hey, when I'm rolling around in dough, you'll be thanking me.
I don't think we're going to see much dough coming from that side of the screen. But that's all the time we have. I'll throw it back to the studio with Jacob Morris.
Ryan Nelson, thanks so much. Do us all a favor and tuck in your polo next time. But 4 questionable picks, to say the least. I hope that's not held against my record, but hey, they're here for fun. I'm here to make some money. Let's get the real party started. We open not with the first drive, not with the opening kickoff. Oh yeah, let's talk coin toss. In preparation, I've spent a few nights here and there dabbling at Fagan's Pub in Syracuse watching coins get flipped. And after crunching the numbers, running the analysis, we're throwing $5 on heads at -104. Let's make some dough before the game even starts. Now though, let's lock in. To the actual field. We're throwing 10 on Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown at even odds. This is great value. Do I think Hurts is going to disappoint Eagles fans? Yes, and I'm looking forward to it. But I also know that this has cashed 7 of the last 9 games for Hurts, and we're getting it at even odds. I love the OU and Alabama product to find the end zone with his legs, or as BTB producer Ethan Frank tells me, maybe even with a Philly special as well. Staying on the Philadelphia side, let's dive into the weeds a little bit. Give me $10 on Boston Scott over 8.5 rushing yards. That's currently sitting at -122. 6+ rushing attempts for Scott in the last 3 games, but more importantly, over 8.5 has hit in 6 of his last 7 appearances. Shipping up to Boston and shipping past 8.5 yards on the ground, I might add. Next up, we're going straight and easy. Give me 10 on Pat Mahomes +130 for Super Bowl MVP. Plain and simple, black and white. This is me doubling down on the Chiefs taking care of business on Sunday. Yes, of course, Travis Kelce could spoil the party, but if KC wins on Sunday, which I've already stated I feel pretty darn confident about, Mahomes is going to have to be special. I think this hits with ease. Speaking of Travis Kelce, let's give the tight end some love. We're sprinkling $5 on anytime touchdown. Yes, it's at -125, which is far from spectacular value. But the fact is, arguably the game's best tight end ever is even better when he plays in the postseason. 11 out of his last 14 playoff games, he's recorded a touchdown. That's crazy, and that's not to mention he's rocking 25 targets and 3 scores already through 2 postseason games to date. I like Kelce and Hurts to get in the end zone. I like him to do it individually. No parlay there. Next up, we're relying on both teams here, and as much as it pains me to rely on Philadelphia for anything, they'll be integral in over 76.5 total touchdown yardage, hitting at -110. Drop $10 here. Both of these offenses are number 1 and number 2 in big plays this year. If nothing else, I think a lot of points carries this one through. Plus, big plays are fun. Why not? Should be a fun one. Next up, it's time for my favorite activity. Let's get negative. Pessimism abound. We're tossing $5 on Jalen Hurts to throw an interception at +106. I can already hear Braden Reed across the pond, as well as delusional Eagles fans across the country crying out, Jacob, he's thrown 6 all year. All he does is protect the ball. Sure, fine, that's great, awesome. But 4 of the 6 one-possession contests or losses we've seen Hurts play in, he's thrown a pick. I believe in the Chiefs. I think Hurts will press in his first real playoff pressure situation, and I like this to cash. One last prop before I give you my parlay. Let's go defensive. $5 on Trent McDuffie, over 4.5 tackles plus assists, currently at +102. Vegas believes this one goes under. I disagree. Over 4.5 is hit for McDuffie in 4 of his last 5 contests. And he'll be matched up against a receiving core that's going to give him plenty of opportunities to make plays. I love zagging here. Roll with the rookie, out of Washington. All right, parlay time, folks. I'm one of the few hosts in BTB history to actually hit one, and I plan on doing it again. We're sticking to our guns, and we're rolling with KC. $5 on on Chiefs money line, Mahomes over 1.5 passing touchdowns, Mahomes 275 or more passing yards, and Isaiah Pacheco over 16.5 receiving yards. All that, all 4 legs, clocks in at plus 488, 5 to win nearly $25. I've already said it, Mahomes is going to have to ball out, and Pacheco feels like free money coming off of his best receiving performance of the year, over 50 yards against the Bengals. America has been screaming it all along. Folks, ride with J-Mo. Let's recap it all. KC straight up, the over to hit, and how about the Newhouse crew? Questionable, $5 for each of them. John Eads taking Frank Clark to report a sack. Nick with Jerick McKinnon first TD to be receiving. Cam Ezer, MVS anytime touchdown. And how about Johnny Gadamowitz? Just for fun, 34-1 on Hassan Reddick to win Super Bowl MVP. Back to my picks, $10 on Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown. Boston Scott over rushing yards, and Pat Mahomes Super Bowl MVP. 5 on Travis Kelce to find the end zone, and Jalen Hurts to throw a pick. 10 on over total touchdown yardage, and 5 on Trent McDuffie over tackles and assists. Wrapping up with our parlay, KC money line, Mahomes over passing touchdowns, Patty 275 plus passing yards, and Pacheco over 16.5 receiving yards at plus 488. Top to bottom, the best betting slate you'll find. Ladies and gents, Jacob Morris saying so long for BTB. Ride with J-Mo and enjoy the game.